3 Game 6s tonight, including the Heat and Hornets. The Hornets looking for their first playoff series win since 2002. The Heat looking to avoid elimination. Here's Wade on his young team in this postseason.
I've never been in the foxhole with this group in this situation. So this is the first time for all of us together. I don't want nobody to think about the moment.
And Wade was certainly living in the moment in this game. The second quarter rejects Jeremy Lin's shot. Wade, 158 career playoff blocks, tying Michael Jordan for most by a guard. And Wade, joined by Whiteside in the block party, who was active in the first half.
Talk about shot blocking. This is the best in our league. He blocks his own man's shot. He blocks big guy's shot, the power forward. And then he has a nice little floater in the lane. Very good touch for a big guy. And there he is, one of the best rebounders in our league as well. Very, very valuable asset for the Miami Heat.
First half, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 4 blocks, Heat up 9. After the break, Walker came alive.
Walker is, we always talk about Steph's handle, Kyrie's handle. I think we could have put Kemba in that group too. I always come on here and I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. It's impossible to stay in front of this guy, and it actually leads to a real matchup problem throughout the series, Chauncey, with Dragic.
I agree. I don't think anybody can stay in front of this guy. He's one of the tougher guys, and what I love about him is his clutch.
How about that? That man's clutch. That was his first 3
What was that?
in 56 consecutive games for D. Wade. And then another one, Ryan.
I remember looking at this stat at the end of the regular season. I thought something was wrong with my computer. He hadn't hit a 3 since December. What do you do here?
Yes, just crazy.
Wow, wow. That's one of the best 2 guards to ever put on a pair of tennis shoes.
This guy's the worst.
I think.
Purple shirt guy.
Purple
Sit down.
shirt guy.
Take a seat, purple shirt guy, as Mark Jackson said, because this is D. Wade's show. Is here. Kemba gets blocked by D. Wade to ice the game.
What a great play by D. Wade right there.
Had fouled out. He was in foul trouble all night. You think as a smaller perimeter guy, you've got a clean lane, and he chases you down.
So the Heat are going back to Miami for a Game 7. Luol Deng, he was 9 of 14 from the field, finished with 21 points. Goran Dragic, he added 14 points and 7 rebounds for the Heat, who will host Game 7 in Miami on Sunday. The Heat overcame a playoff career-high 37 from Kemba to hand the Hornets their only 11 loss at home this season. But this is D. Wade's team, and he put him on his back. Here's the vet on his big-time performance.
I wasn't offensively. I had it go in the first half, and the second half, my offense just left me. My stroke left me. But in the last couple minutes of the game, I don't even think about that. You know, Coach put the ball in my hand. We ran certain sets, and you know, it just came a point where I just had to make shots. And so, you know, thank God I finally got something to go in. Tonight in Game 6, I trust my teammates. I love them, but if we was going to lose, I was going to go out shooting it tonight. At this point in my career, I play for these moments. You know, I don't play for regular season basketball, which is all fine, but the playoffs is what you know, it's what's, like our coach says, what makes you feel alive.
Dwayne feels most alive when the competition is at its highest and games feel like this. It's a very competitive series. So we had our response tonight. They had their response the other night, and then now you have the 2 best words in the English language, Game 7.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's extraordinary performance brought to you by Zales, and who else? Wade completely took over down the stretch. He had 8 of the Heat's 10 points in the final 3 minutes and 10 seconds of Game 6, including those 2 threes. He hadn't made a 3 in his previous 56 games, and no other Heat player made a field goal in the final 4 minutes. And after the game, his first comment was like, did my wife tweet anything about my performance tonight? I'm not sure if she tweeted anything about that, but how would you sum up D. Wade's performance at the end of
I
this game?
thought it was great. I mean, he's one of the best players to ever play this game. And he talked about going out shooting in Game 6. Well, all he did was give us a game plan for Game 7. He's going to go out shooting. He's not going to let this team lose, especially at home. This guy's a 3-time champion, Olympic champion. I mean, he's one of the finer players that we've ever seen. He won't go down easy.
I like this Dwayne Wade this year so much better than last year, and sometimes even in some of those other runs, because he's just in better condition. He's better to close in a playoff game. And when you think about it, he hadn't won a series without LeBron going all the way back to that championship run with Shaq. And I just think the way he's talked about his team going, you know, I don't know how good we are. We haven't beat a lot of really good teams on the road since the All-Star break. He said himself, I'm not sure how much I trust these guys the rest of the way. Not in a bad way, just because he hadn't been through these wars with them. But the way he shot it, Like, you just don't expect it. And you also look at Miami and how they are challenged offensively because you had Whiteside in foul trouble. He fouled out at the end there. Kemba puts together this 12 straight-point run. I mean, that was insane. And Dragic has to come out because he can't defend. So it's Richardson. Dang was a complimentary guy. So a lot of that stuff, Chauncey, was one-on-one. Like, it was up to him to bail him out in those possessions. And the best players in our league are the guys that can do that.
And he knocked down 2 huge three-point shots, which is uncustomary to him. Luol Deng came up really huge today. I expect those kind of big games from Joe Johnson. That's why they brought him over. They need that secondary scorer. With Chris Bosh sitting out, I need to see Joe Johnson make some big plays for this team.
So from what we saw today, back in Miami, Game 7, how do you see that playing out?
Well, I think Miami wins. You're at home. You got your crowd behind you. You got the best player on your team in D. Wade, who's focused, who's ready to lead. He's making shots. And, I mean, they had 5 guys in double figures today. They played a very good basketball game. I expect them to get it done at home.
Charlotte has to find something else besides Kemba because you have the Batum injury, barely played. Jefferson now, giving you a little bit of something there, but he's marginalized because Whiteside's such a beast in there. Marvin Williams, man, he has had so many bad games in this series. I mean, not just bad shooting, like absolute donuts. And it's tough for Kemba to get that stuff going. They've actually had to rely on Lynn, who didn't have a very good night in some of the other games. Interesting
to know about Nicholas Batum, though. His wife just had a baby this morning, so he said he started the game working on adrenaline, but just kind of fizzled out towards the back end of the game and he got hurt. But